Hey guys, how's it going? Captain Foley here with you just to hang out this afternoon. We don't have a live at 4, so I figured I'd come on here and just do a little bit of a hangout with you guys and see what you want to talk about. So, here my dogs running around like idiots. I apologize, but this is the way it is in this house, unfortunately. So, hey, it is what it is. So let's see who shows up. If you are just joining us and you're watching this after the fact, or even if you're watching it live, hit that like button. And if you want to super chat, I won't stop you. Please feel free. If you're watching this after the fact as well, do a super thanks. It's kind of like a super chat, but just not on a live. So if you can help us out in those ways, you know that we'd really appreciate it. So please do. Hitting like is also super important. So let's see what you guys want to talk about today. I don't have an agenda. I don't have anything I need to discuss necessarily, but I do want to, hang out with you guys and touch base. I kind of said that I might do one of these today, this afternoon, and figured why not? I got some time. I will chat with you guys. So let's see how this turns out. Hey Doc, Edgar, Carlos, Sven, Chuck, Sean. Sean's asked, when the next series is out. No, as far as I know, the next one will be Lower Decks, and that'll be in September. But Prodigy, the end of Prodigy season 1 hasn't aired yet, so I don't know when that's going to be a thing. Last time we talked to Aaron Waltke, who's like one of the main guys on that, he wasn't even sure when that was going to be a thing. So that might happen before Lower Decks, but I don't know 100%. So I don't know when that's going to be I don't know why that kicked in. I apologize. Doc McGillicuddy throws in $10. Awesome, with a super pair. Well, that is a super chat and a super thank you from me, so thank you so much. Sebastian, €2. Evening, afternoon, Cap, how's it hanging? It is hanging long, loose, and full of juice, and a little to the left. No, it's really good. So, sorry, that was kind of rude. I apologize, but I don't, because that's just how I am. Doc McGillicuddy, resistance is annoying. We are the Morn. Sebastian, just watching Good Bad Flicks, latest forgotten TV show based on comic books. Cool. They always do good stuff. I really enjoy their content. So if you're watching that, how are you watching me? Or maybe why are you watching me? But good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Much appreciated. So what do you guys want to talk about? I want to show you my latest R2 that I built. This is Hologram R2. It's a Bandai kit. Just it's R2D2. And he does have the third leg, which sounds very dirty. But there he is there. And surprisingly enough, Bandai always makes great models. They really do. They go together super well. They're very well engineered. And this one was hard to build, though. I built quite a few astromech droids from them, but with all the parts being the same color, this was actually hard to make, believe it or not. But I do love my R2D2s. I'm a huge astromech fan, so built this little guy. He's currently sitting on my desk here with all my other geeky stuff. But yeah, so Sean says, your Megatron, is that a proper one that turns into a gun? Are they hard to get? I thought they are banned in most places. It's just that's actually a War for Cybertron Megatron. He doesn't transform. So, and I also have the one from the Transformers, the movie, where he's getting reformatted into Galvatron. So, yeah. And yeah, the gun versions are banned in a lot of places, yes. Sebastian, I paused it and tried to download one of the shows he mentioned. Night, man. See you later, Sebastian. Doc McGillicuddy, Astroglide droid with the shiny blue sheen. Astroglide droid? Really? T Hammer, are you looking forward to the James Webb's deep space pictures being released tomorrow? Yeah, I love that kind of stuff, and absolutely I am, yes. Jason, 6690, $2. What's happening, Captain? What's happening, Captain? Not too much. Not too much at all, actually. Today's kind of a slow day, so. Sean Smith says, yes, sir. Carlos, have you thought about making a 750 scale Foley with lights? Would be nice to see a making of video. 750 scale? Never heard of 750 scale before. There's usually 1000 scale, which is what the resin kit of the Foley is. 350 scale, 2500 scale, 750 scale. There's also 5/37 scale, which is the old Enterprise kits. But no, I'm not gonna do I couldn't really do the resin kit lit because it's solid resin. Maybe one day I'll have a lit Foley class model, but I kind of doubt it. Ba weep, grana weep, nitty bong. Doc McGillicuddy, the James Webb is going to show a giant eyeball looking back at us from the simulation. I mean, possibly. I doubt it, but possibly. Sebastian, no, the series Nightman, only 822 here. Okay. Don't know if I've heard of Nightman. I thought you were saying Nightman, like you were heading off. But Sean says, I love how Nimoy as Spock. I love how Nimoy is Spock. The man's a genius. Carlos says, no, sorry, I meant 350 scale. Hey, a 350 scale Foley class would be amazing. You could probably convert one of the TOS kits into a Foley class. It would take a lot of modifications though, and I'm not that good of a scratch build model maker. So modifying that kind of stuff isn't really my jam. I would love to see a 350 Foley class if somebody wants to do one sometime. So I that'd be great. Sure. Holy Gabriel, hey Cap, hope your week has started off well. So far, so good. No complaints so far. Well, that's not true. I got a little bit of electrical issue or wiring issue with the Camaro all of a sudden, which annoys the shit out of me because I don't know anything about electronics. But I got a little bit of a problem with the one headlight only coming on when the blinker's on, and so I'm not super stoked about that. Jason says, see the new Thor? No, not yet. I'm sure we'll get to it at some point, but have not watched it yet, no. Nightman, son of the Dayman, master of karate. I don't know if that's a joke or if that's legit. So, Captain Corky, listening on my radio on my tow motor at work. Hope all is well, Captain. Yeah, hopefully you're having a good day at work. Sean says, can I get someone to 3D print it? Could you get someone to 3D print it? Yeah, but the problem is 350 scale 3D print would be very time consuming and very large and be in many different sections. That's probably the best solution to get one done, and I would absolutely love to have one. But yeah, I just got to find somebody that's willing to take the time out of their printer time for that for me. So I don't know. I mean, eventually at some point that would be cool, but T Hammer, what's outside the universe? Well, just more universe. Sean O'Sullivan, I meant to say Nimoy is Galvatron, not Spock. I got sidetracked. Oh yes, Nimoy as Galvatron. He's also, I forget the character's name in one of the Transformers movies. But yes, he's got a history with Transformers for sure. And I don't know if I like the fact that he was Galvatron in the movie. I mean, when it went back to when Galvatron started showing up in the TV show, it was just Frank Welker again, if I recall correctly. Yeah, not really a needed thing to have Nimoy in that, but it was a big name draw for the movie, so it was all right. Raj, hey, Mon Capitan and Trekyardians, how are you, Stuart? Not too bad, not too bad. Thanks for asking. T Hammer, could be worse. I own a 2000 Ford Mustang. Yeah, that's worse. Okay. Dan Ben, There is a new Lower Decks clip right now. Haven't seen it yet. B. Cluett, have you seen the new Shikar class TNG era Miranda replacement in Star Trek Online? They even use Cheyenne-like nacelles and a Galaxy-style saucer where the torpedo pod would be. I haven't seen it yet. You're like the second person to ask me that. Samuel's taken a look at it. I have not yet. Just something that hasn't come up for me to look at. So, Matt Boardman, once things clear up for me, I'll be working on a full model kit, Foley class, that can be printed and lit. Ooh, Matt, you the man. You the man. Good to see you, Matt. Thanks for joining. Raj, I saw a meme of someone on JWST and someone looking back. Made me laugh so much. But seriously, is it going to be amazing to see the images on the James Webb Space Telescope? It is going to be amazing, yes. Carlos, is there any events coming up you are looking forward to, like Free Comic Book Day? Nothing really coming up except for London Comic Con, which is in September. It's either in September or October, and I'll be there with the captain's chair. And if you're in the London area, London, Ontario, not the UK, London, Ontario, come by, say hi, sit in the captain's chair, get your photo in the chair, hang out with Captain Foley. It'll be awesome. So, yeah. Joe Torres, what's good, buddy? Lots is good. It's very little, not great right now. So, hope you're okay. Good to see you. Dan says, no, I haven't seen the Lower Decks clip either. Okay. Sean, do you enjoy the Kevin Smith films? Have you seen Clerks 3 trailer? Yes, I enjoyed Kevin Smith films. Yes, I've seen the Clerks 3 trailer. Yes, I think it looks incredibly fucking stupid, and I don't know if I want to watch it. At this point, you're just a sellout, unfortunately. As much as I hate to say that, Clerks 3 looks like it has no originality, and I'm not super stoked for it at all. Clerks 2 was a bit of a stretch also, but yeah, I love the older Kevin Smith stuff. I do like the guy. You know, he had the heart attack and lost a lot of weight. Good for him. But by all means, change your fucking fashion sense. For the love of God. Those baggy fucking jerseys and shorts just look god-awful. Please stop wearing them. That's my advice to Kevin Smith. Other than that, I do like the guy. But Clerks 3 didn't need to exist. So I don't know why it's here. Dan Ben, yesterday I think I was watching your video on the new Monster Maroon uniform, and halfway through it says unavailable and gone. Well, it's there now. Yes, it was released at the same time as the other one was yesterday. It wasn't supposed to be. It was scheduled wrong, so they both released at the same time. It was supposed to be scheduled for today, so it is out now, so go watch it now. I set it to private pretty early on after it got released, and it should not have been released, so you shouldn't have been watching it at all. But now you can go check it out. It is there. Sean says, I'm saving for a house, but I'm hoping in a year or two to make it to Ticonderoga, ideally once they have the TNG sets up. Yeah, once they have the TNG sets up, I will be going back for sure. I've been there a few times, and I think it's a fun time. You know, I'd love to meet a lot of you guys there next time I go. So I'll announce if I'm going or whatever so that you guys can come and say hi. That'd be awesome. T. Hammer, the actor playing Kirk in Stranger Worlds, just doesn't seem to fit. A good fit to play Kirk. I agree, but we haven't seen much screen time of him, honestly. But yeah, he does not have that Kirk gravitas or screen presence, in my opinion. So I don't know why they cast him. He passed the casting call or the audition, so there must be a reason for it. But I don't know what that is, because he doesn't really have the presence of James T. Kirk, in my opinion. Dan says, I was looking on Reddit earlier and saw your someone had posted your Foley class in the Star Trek Starship subreddit. Interesting. Scott Bell, who does Starship Dynamics, like cutaways and blueprints and stuff, has actually just finished the Foley class. So that's available through Starship Dynamics on Facebook if you guys want to go pick up the Foley class cutaway and blueprints. It's a pretty cool book, and yeah, I'll be getting my copy soon. I do have my digital copy already. I'll probably do a video about it when I get the actual physical copy, but Starship Dynamics, go order one if you are interested in the Foley class. Stanley's, hey, how's it going? Raymond Anders is here. Hello, from Arkansas. The Holy Gabriel, but all of the view askew is stupid. That's kind of the whole point. Love Jay and Silent Bob reboot. I haven't seen the reboot, I don't think. I did like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I liked most of Kevin Smith movies. And yes, they're kind of stupid universe, but I don't think Clerks 3 is a thing that needed to happen, honestly. That's just my opinion. You can't do anything unique or new with it, and it's kind of given the whole Clerks thing a bad name, in my opinion. But hey, that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, and so are you, because you're sitting here watching me. So, ha. For your information, Nimoy was Sentinel Prime. Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the name, but Sentinel Prime, indeed. Sean O'Sullivan, I hope Samuel gets demoted to commander or for that scheduling blunder. Nah, it's okay. Or gets demoted to commander? Well, he already is a commander, so... Dan Ben, Star Trek is going to release new information on shows in on the 23rd because of a Comic-Con. Well, there you go. Then we'll probably know when Prodigy, the last part of season 1, is coming out, and you'll have your release dates for later in the year. I don't know how much of a break they're going to give us, but it's good to not have new Trek on, actually, for a little while anyway. So we'll see how it goes and what kind of releases we'll have coming out. We always have lots of things on different burners at different, cooking times. So we always have cool stuff ready to come out and or ready to be filmed or whatever. We've always got content coming out, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Strange new Kirk fits a Jim Carrey pet detective. Dan Ben, also different Londons across the world. There's an East London city in South Africa. Yes, absolutely. B. Cluett, that Strange New Worlds Kirk didn't quite have the voice to play Kirk. I think if he had more voice presence, it might have helped. His lines sounded about right, though. Yeah, the dialogue sounded written for Kirk for sure, but I just don't think the delivery or the presence he had was equivalent to what Kirk should be. So, bit of a problem there, but... Sean says, you reckon there's any link between the USS Peregrine and the Maquis fighter Peregrine class, or just a name reuse? Just a name reuse, there's no link. Foley class, a great ship, but not original enough, like the Sombra class. I mean, not original enough. It's completely original. I love 3 nacelle dreadnoughts. I didn't want to put the Foley class Mark III has the 3rd nacelle attached to the saucer, but that was too Federation-like, so too Federation class-like. I didn't want to do that, so that's why I put it where it was. And yeah, I mean, actually, I didn't realize it till much, much later, but yeah, it's almost exactly like the Galaxy X from All Good Things, where the nacelle is placed, but the fact that it moves and slides up into position so the ship can separate. So yeah, I totally disagree with you on that. Doc McGillicuddy, Clerks 3 happened because he likes keeping his friends working and paid. Ensign, we need to Harry Kim, our Englishman. Passing Through says, hello folks. Hello, Passing Through. Are you just passing through? Sean says, are you listening to the Clone Star podcast? Sean Ferrick is getting some great guests. I haven't been listening to it, no. Sean goes on to say, I was joking because the Sombra class is the same as the Connie. Okay. The Stanleys, I'd assume that Prodigy or Lower Decks will be the next show released. I'm guessing Prodigy's going to slip in before Lower Decks. Lower Decks will maintain its same kind of release schedule it's had for the last 2 seasons, with it coming out in September. That's kind of the whisperings that I've heard, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's most likely, honestly. So, Passing Through says, heh, just hanging out for a bit. Well, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. That is awesome. But yeah, when you bring collectibles across the border, do you have to pay VAT tax? I don't know what VAT tax is. No, I've brought stuff over from Wonderfest. We've never had to pay anything on it. So, Raymond Anders, I'm still wanting for a show about 2300s to 2340s. New ship, maybe the USS London. LOL. Yeah, the lost era of Trek, for sure. Sean says we need a DS9 continuation. We've had continuations of the other shows. I wouldn't be opposed, but I don't think we need it per se. But yeah, I wouldn't be upset if they did it. T Hammer, Star Trek Enterprise NX-01 refit or no refit build? What do you think? I'd go with the refit. I do like the refit. I do have the Eagle Moss refit of the NX-01. I'm not the biggest fan of the NX-01 design, honestly, but the refit, it's pretty cool and unique enough that, yeah, it's a neat idea. But yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the NX class. I think it's kind of at best. So, but hey. Sean says VAT is value added tax, similar to sales tax. I think he means custom charges. No, I've never had that problem. Not even once. Doc McGillicuddy, don't let them disco the Lost Era, please. Well, that's one of the things that, yes, we'd love to see a Lost Era, but we're also glad we haven't seen it because inevitably they'll just probably fuck it up and then we'll be pissed again. So it's good to kind of leave it alone, but I really want to see something in that's done properly. You know, like Mandalorian type properly. Jon Favreau, done properly. That'd be great. So I'd love to see it. Just do it right. I liked the sphere-shaped ships. What class was that? That was the Daedalus class. The Daedalus class. And yes, those should have been in Enterprise. They tried pushing for that early on, like Doug Drexler and John Eves and Michael Okuda tried for those kind of ships because that's what the era had. But no, the producers are idiots and they didn't want that. They wanted a saucer design. So fine, whatever. Don't get me started on Enterprise. A lot of things about it that pissed me off. ThinkPad, I would love a show about Archer class scout ship like the Sagittarius. Might be cool. Such a unique ship. Yeah, the Archer class is a nice small little ship. It's a little ship. Little. Your favorite Star Trek ship? Constitution class. TOS or refit, depends on the day. They're both fucking great. Outside of that, I love the Federation class Dreadnought. I love the Chimera class and STO. There's a lot of designs I really, really like, but the answer is always the Constitution class. So, Carlo says, I think it would be great to have a Star Trek museum that has models of the ships with Trekyards episode of that ship playing on a screen next to it. So many ships, the Trekyards Museum, make it so. That'd be cool. But I don't know if our work holds up to having it displayed like that. I go back and watch some of our stuff and I'm like, I see the 15 million ways this could have been better. Especially the older stuff from like our first or second year. It's like, great ambition, but it's just some of it's cringe-worthy a little bit. That being said, go watch our old content. Sean says, I like the world of Fenris Rangers live in. I like the world of Fenris Rangers live in. Great excuse to use old ship models, NX class Excelsiors, old Connies, you name it, just steal them from ship graveyards and go at it like TOS Bird of Prey and Picard. Yeah. Sure. Gorgonzola, greetings, sir. Carlo says, so First Contact changed the timeline and all new Trek from Enterprise onwards is the new timeline. If you want to believe that, sure. Yes. Sean O'Sullivan, Enterprise Klingons speak English. Disco 70s Disco, 70 years later. It's called a universal translator. It helps us communicate. T Hammer, have you seen those videos a YouTuber put together showing a cutaway view of different Star Trek ships? Yes, I have watched a number of those. A lot of his stuff is speculative. He does a really good job, though. I love his 3D models. I can't really stand his narration. Something about his voice really bothers me, so I find it hard to watch. I have to be in a particular mood to watch. But I do like his content. Yes, it's some good stuff. Just wish he had a different narrator. But that's me, and maybe I'm being selfish and petty and little. I don't know, but the original Klingon D7 ships were rather cool. I wouldn't mind having one. Yeah, the original D7 design is a classic design, one of my favorites. It's a mean-looking ship. Is it practical to design a ship that way? Probably not so much, but it looks really damn cool, so who cares? I think the Archer class is also excellent for pen and paper RPGs of your own design. The new Star Trek Adventure system has a good system to handle bigger ships with more crews, so no need there. Yeah, I got to get some of the new role-playing Star Trek stuff. Looks really fantastic. Just those, they're so expensive. The books are just so damn expensive. Sean O'Sullivan, nice phaser rifle behind you. You could really clean some chronometers. Yeah, it's a TNG one. I just did a video on it on my Captain Foley personal channel last week. The 3D printed one. It's got a spotlight and, but yeah. Not my favorite design, a phaser rifle by any means, but a friend of mine was 3D printing them and asked if I wanted one, and I'm like, sure, yeah, I would love one. So here it is. So got a little arsenal behind me here. I've got the TNG phaser rifle. I've got Klingon TOS disruptor, and I've also got my Star Trek 3 phaser. With the new 3D printed stand that it just slots into, so it stands up really nice. So, do you watch the YouTube channel Ryan's Edits and his intake videos? He cuts bloopers back into the scenes they came from. Yes. Megan says, in theory, my theory is that something happened in First Contact which made the universe split. It resulted in Enterprise and Discovery and Strange New Worlds as opposed to the Prime Universe. Yep. That's been a theory around for quite a long time, and I support it. It's a good theory. Olam says, hello, Trek people. Waiting on a parts run here. Always thought those phaser rifles were a poor excuse for form following function, but never handled one. They're comfortable to handle, actually, and they feel very cool when you're holding them. But yeah, not a great looking design. Gorgonzola, I think his ship interiors are a bit old-fashioned with all those water tanks. Seems to me like a Battlestar sometimes. Carlo, I hope that's not set to kill. It was, you're all dead. Looks amazing. Eric says, remember the phaser rifle in TOS? Didn't get to see it in more than 1 or 2 episodes. It was only 1 episode, and yes, I've held one. A friend of mine has a 3D print of one. I've actually... with like actual milled metal parts. I've actually held it, and I've got a bunch of photos with me with it. I want to get one. I love the TOS phaser rifle design. I don't care what anybody says. It's fucking great, and I would like to get one. Sean says later ones might be more ergonomic, but they would fit much better. They would fit much better in a crate and could ship more. Olam says, that one's pretty, though. It is. Gorgonzola, Captain, that was the Type 3 that won us the Dominion War. T. Hammer, I can agree with that. Sean says, do you have a Zat or a Jaffa staff? I have a Zat gun. I have to paint it still, but I got a resin Zat gun in the open position. I don't have a Jaffa staff, though. Samuel does. Carlo, you'll need another wall for all your weapons. Yeah, don't worry. I'll figure that out. Dan Ben, 709 did mention the events of First Contact in Year of Hell and Relativity. ThinkPad, didn't Spock use a cool phaser rifle in the pilot with Captain Pike? Didn't Spock use a cool phaser rifle in the pilot with Captain Pike? No. They used a phaser cannon though, a huge ground-based phaser cannon. I don't think Spock had a phaser rifle in that. He might have actually. Don't recall offhand. And Dan, yeah, even though 709 mentioned it, doesn't mean that when Picard and company came back to the future, they actually came back to the correct timeline because of their quantum signature or something, and then his reports filtered down through Starfleet, and yeah, 709, of course, would refer to it, and even the Borg memory would have it, but the events that happened in the past branched at that point, so it created a different timeline as well. We could get into a whole discussion about that, but I don't want to. Why don't you have a fish in your office like Picard's? Because I don't like fish. They're just hard to take care of. I think Azat is the best sounding thing to stun people out of annoyance with. T Hammer, the flashlights in TNG seemed awkward to handle. I mean, who holds a flashlight like catching a frisbee? They're kind of cool though. Like, they're called palm lights, and they're a real thing. I like the ones in Voyager better on the wrists, but Star Trek Lower Decks made a joke about what's the difference between a phaser and a phaser rifle. Yes, they did. Phaser rifles actually don't make any goddamn sense. But hey. ENGO9, hello my friend, live long and prosper. Hello ENGO9. I know you said you were available for gaming tonight. I might be as well. Maybe we'll strap on the VR and play a game or two together. Carlo, James Randy Kirk, as known by his friends. Poor Gary Mitchell. Gorgonzola, I am thinking about a wall in my flat with a painting of the Battle of Sector 001 and a phaser rifle under or over it. If I lose signal in a minute, I apologize. It might be a thing that happens, but I'll be back. Actually, I want to do this. It's rough and irritating and everywhere. Did the fish die for season 2 or just an empty bowl? It died. Somebody forgot to leave the heater on or something. And Dan Ben, Michael Shanks, SG-1 Daniels, does not like Zat guns. He thinks they look like a penis. VR strap-on. Sean, what's the difference between a black bean and a chickpea? No one has ever paid $50 to watch a black bean. Wow, really? What game are you playing in VR? Also 709 or T'Pol, LOL. Probably 7 and 9 between those two. What game in VR? We'll probably play like Firewall. Firewall, maybe Bridge Crew. Haven't played Star Wars Squadrons in a while. Who knows? I'll stream it, whatever we play. Sounds good, my friend. Lock and load. Sean says, it was recently pointed out to me on the episode where he devolved. The fish reverted to a mollusk or something. I can't remember. Oh, I didn't know that. That's neat. Olam says you should say garbanzo bean to get it right, Sean. Garbanzo bean. Well, there you go. Has the signal been affected? I just need to know. So let me know if the quality's changed at all. Everything looks fine on my end, but I'm not 100% sure, so. It's actually the same thing as a chickpea. Raymond Anders, don't new Kirk's ships look like Anton-class light cruiser? Oh, so the Farragut. Yeah, probably. hitting that like button. We have 42 likes. Let's try to get to 50 likes. I think 8 people haven't hit the like button, so give it a tap. And yeah, hit the like button. That'll increase the signal strength. That's how these things work. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Cursed buffering circle of doom. Well, hopefully I'm back now. Should be fine. I see my signal here. All right. Looks like it's getting better. Sean O'Sullivan says, I like how the Farragut is similar in Strange New Worlds in that it's a reconfiguration of the Connie, same way the Nebula is of the galaxy. Back, I think. You must have seen the problem before we did. I did see the problem before you did. I knew there was going to be a problem. I won't say why, but I knew there was going to be a problem because I heard something going on upstairs, which is now done. So hopefully it's all fixed now. Love me some BSG, but honestly I would prefer to get some new Stargate over getting new BSG. I would say that's probably accurate for me as well. So I don't know why they need to do a new BSG, unless it's a continuation of the new BSG that they just did. But they're saying it's not necessarily that, so I don't know what they're doing with that. But yeah, I would love to see new Stargate as well. Give us a new Babylon 5, give us a new Stargate, give us a new Buck Rogers, give us a new goddamn anything. We don't need another Battlestar Galactica, I don't think. But hey, if it's really good, then we'll love it. So who knows? Give us a live action Thundercats. Give us a live action Battle of the Planets. Like, so many options, guys. Dan says, I think they just said it so they could get people to go on Peacock streaming. I'm still in love with the Star Fury B5. I don't like the Star Furies. I think they're hideous. The only real ship I like from Battlestar Galactica is the White Star. Raymond Anders, going back to Romulan Bird of Prey and TOS, the ship had only 4 decks and blueprints from the 70s. Yes, it did. It was a small ship. The Stanleys, would you want a Stargate universe to continue or just a new SG show? I'd want it to continue. I wouldn't want them to redo it. I'd want it to continue, be a spin-off of some sort. Babylon 5 might be amazing. It's aged like milk. Watching the last episode of Strange New Worlds, such a great episode. It was pretty great, yes. The only reason we have Star Wars is because Lucas couldn't get the rights to the old serials. And that's not a bad thing. So Romulan Bird of Prey. There are 4 decks. Carlo, I would prefer a remastered Space Above and Beyond. It would be amazing with new effects. T Hammer, well, I choose DePaul over 7 of 9. Okay. Eric says, in the last episode of Strange New Worlds, were the Romulan ships supposed to only have impulse drive only? Yes. In Balance of Terror, Scotty states that it's only impulse, which, when we talk about it on our episode, which is one of the first episode we did on the Romulan Bird of Prey, we speculated that because it was a test bed for the new cloaking device and for the plasma torpedo, that it didn't have the interior volume to necessarily use those new systems, as well as like a warp core or a quantum singularity core. So it was likely dropped off by a warp capable ship near the neutral zone and then crossed the neutral zone with the cloak on, because it would have taken forever to get there from wherever they made it at Impulse. So Oh, Eric asked if in Strange New Worlds the Romulan ship only had impulse. No, that was never implied. That was never discussed. It should have been the case, but no, it was never mentioned. Sean O'Sullivan, Strange New Worlds finale lines up so well with Balance of Terror, makes me appreciate both more, like Trouble with Tribbles. Raj says, in Brad Wright's planned fourth Stargate series, the Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe stories would continue and finish in that series while doing new stories. That'd be awesome. ThinkPad, I think the medieval Irish woman in the episode of Star Trek Next Generation that wore the knitted cotton dress is hotter than both 7 and 9 and DePaul. I 1000% agree with you. And that episode is called Up the Long Ladder. So, yes, I would wash her feet. Or she could wash my feet. Whatever it is, I'm down. And she is hot. Ray Ricks, which would explain the closeness of the Romulan fleet. Sean, Impulse could be nearly Warp 1 in theory. Trekyards, maybe why the Romy fleet was so close because the flagship dropped it off. Well, yeah. There's a few inconsistencies with Balance of Terror and the Strange New Worlds episode. In the Strange New Worlds episode, they talk about the Praetor and they call him a he. Of course, it's a female in Strange New Worlds. The flagship had a plasma torpedo, which it shouldn't have had because the ship, the Romulan bird of prey, was testing the plasma torpedo as a weapon system, as well as the new cloak at the time. So there's no way that the flagship should have had it. We talked about that in our video we released yesterday. Small little things like that. Also, there's no reason for a fleet to be nearby, and why would the Praetor be nearby? A ship would have been great, maybe 2 or 3 at the most, but not like 15. That wasn't necessary at all. But hey. I feel the plasma weapon is a little overpowered. Yeah, it absolutely is, especially when you play games like Starfleet Battles. They pack a hell of a punch, and they're fast. The fastest maximum speed there's 32 impulses per turn. So 32 turns per turn in Starfleet Battles. The fastest the ship can go is 31. So you can move almost every move, but there's one that you don't move because it's just how speed your ship is going. The plasma torpedo can outrun your ship. But the problem is, the longer it goes after it's fired, it dissipates. The plasma just dissipates, and finally it gets to the point where there's no damage when it hits. So they are super overpowered, but they're definitely limited in range. Plasma torpedoes are cool. We should do an episode talking about plasma torpedoes from like Starfleet Battles and even Starfleet Command, the game. They have different types. There's a Type R, there's a Type S, there's a Type F, there's a pseudo plasma torpedo, which is like a fake plasma torpedo, which makes you fire all your phasers at it to dissipate the plasma, but it wouldn't have caused you any damage if it hit you. So it's basically a decoy torpedo. But you don't know that because it has the same kind of sensor readings. But anyway, we're getting in the weeds here on the plasma torpedo thing. Post on Reddit, someone was rewatching Star Trek Discovery from the beginning and they didn't understand Tilly's connection with the princess in season 2 because they didn't know about short treks. Cool. I don't read Reddit because Reddit is a fucking cesspool of shit, so... Trek or not, wonder, did they have to deactivate the warp drive to redirect power to the experimental systems, hence would appear as having no warp drive? No. Listen to Scotty's dialogue in Balance of Terror. It is an impulse powered ship. It's a short range ship. So I forget the exact dialogue, but passing through, I'm new to all the new Treks that have come out over the last few years, and as I go, I am watching the Commander and your reviews. I really appreciate you guys as some old way back fans like myself. Good. That was the whole intention of this channel. Sean O'Sullivan, Up the Long Ladder was a horrific caricature. It's as bad as doing blackface minstrel show. Please God, if they have Irish characters, can they get Irish actors? ThinkPad, cheers to that T-Hammer and to the captain. Captain Corky, plasma torpedo visual effects were cool. Yes, I loved the new plasma torpedo visual effects. I thought they were fucking phenomenal. So 100% kudos to them for that. It was great. It was a great updated plasma torpedo. And yes, the plasma torpedo, going back to it being overpowered, that's why you don't see them again. That's why they're not in the next generation. They don't have them anymore. It was kind of a failed experiment. It required too much power to fire them. That being said, they are on a lot of Romulan ships, like I said, in Starfleet Battles and Starfleet Command Volume 2, the game. The Gorn also have plasma torpedoes on their ships, because the Gorn and the Romulans have quite a long history of border skirmishes. So for those like 80 years that we didn't see the Romulans, they were actually on the other side of their border battling with the Gorn. So the Gorn and them both have plasma torpedoes, which are heavy hitters. So yeah, that's the Starfleet Battles lore for why the Romulans were gone for so long from our border, just because they were defending their other border against the Gorn. It's a whole thing. I need to do some Starfleet Battles videos actually talking about the history of that kind of stuff, because it's very fascinating and cool. Why didn't the Romulans use a plasma torpedo against the android planet in Picard Season 1? Because the plasma torpedo was a failed experiment and they didn't use it at that point. Forces you to extend the range like a Balance of Terror. Yes. Sean O'Sullivan, I do like the idea of the Praetor having their own flagship like Shinzon, so each one is trying to build a bunker in space to try not get assassinated. Gorgonzola, in Strange New Worlds, plasma torpedo tests still make a little sense, as they are testing it against Starfleet. Maybe they wanted to have the weapon all rolled out for them for Max Effect and no countermeasures. I missed the game Bridge Commander. I do too. It was a good game. Sean, might it be because they used the artificial singularity, so no warp core? Scotty's scans didn't figure it out. No, the Romulan ships back then did not use quantum singularities. That didn't become a thing until like the Lost era, when they started to develop that technology. Then by TNG they had it mastered. Back in the day, Romulan ship designs were very much standard warp designs. Standard warp, antimatter. They didn't use quantum singularities until TNG. Is there a seatbelt on your captain's chair in case you take evasive maneuvers or just have to lean hard? No. Dan Ban, Romulans don't use plasma weapons in the 24th, 25th century, but they do have plasma torpedoes, I think. Yeah, they have plasma torpedoes. Pretty much everybody has plasma torpedoes. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I was thinking photon torpedoes. Plasma torpedoes are plasma weapons. So no, they didn't have them in TNG. They might have a variation of it for their photon torpedo, but it would be a lot smaller. It wasn't an all-encompassing plasma ball like the actual plasma torpedoes were, so no. Eric Martin, you never know when Cap will be on. I'm in between meetings. Woohoo! Donnie, I'm still looking forward to the CW reboot of Babylon 5. Raymond Anders, like a warp slide Romulan bird of prey. Warp slide? Gorgonzola, they had plasma torpedoes in DS9. Maybe they were still suitable for stationary use. Yeah, but they're also probably a lot smaller and probably had more like a photon torpedo, like a physical casing in the middle. The plasma weapons we see in TOS, the plasma torpedo, is just a ball of plasma. So, plasma. And I don't remember them having plasma torpedoes in DS9, but I'd have to look into that. Eric Martin, any updates on Stargate, or are the suits still throwing the good china at each other? No update as far as I know. Greg, the Praetors being different can be all explained by timeline changes. Yeah. T-Hammer, we'll let the Romulans bring it. They would get wiped out. Sean, I think Stargate has a whole load of rights issues, so hard to make a new series. Some of the Elkar's designs on the Romulan ship show the singularity. I've seen it confirmed on Twitter. Would have been trouble finding it again. Mind. Yeah, I saw those right away. The quantum singularity core graphic, and it's like, that's fucking wrong. They didn't have them back then. They just didn't have them back then. It was never a thing until TNG. So the fact they have that is a huge error on their part, but they thought they were being clever, like, oh, Romulans have quantum singularity drives. No, they fucking don't. Not in TOS. Sorry to break it to you. Check every beta source ever. Every game, every fucking book. They didn't have them until TNG. So that's just a fucking error. And I hate that it's now canon, because everybody's going to quote it as, oh, that one has the quantum singularity drive. They have it in TOS. No, they fucking didn't. And that pisses me off. So that's one of the things that Strange New Worlds definitely got wrong. In Star Trek Online, plasma torpedoes are slow-moving and often destructible, similar to TOS ones. Yes, same within Starfleet command games. You can shoot phasers at them to dissipate their energy. So you block all your phasers on it and fire, and by the time, if it's close to you and it hits you, the phasers would have dissipated a lot of the energy. So it's like a couple hit points. It's nothing major. But again, at a guess, those plasma balls just become much less useful against the Romulan peers, so they went another way. The Stanleys, the Cardassian orbital weapons platform was plasma torpedoes. The Romulans tried putting plasma torpedoes on Bajor's moons. Yeah, those sound like ground-based systems, which would make sense for those plasma torpedoes because they require so much fucking energy and so much power that it's not really practical on some ships. So I don't have a problem with them being ground-based or platform-based plasma torpedoes. I think that's a good idea. So more like heavy cannons or artillery than a ship weapon. DS9 was photon torpedoes, and the Dominion had plasma. Eric Martin, in Balance of Terror, TOS, their phasers were down, so they couldn't try it, but they should try pre-detonating the plasma weapon with the phaser shot. It's not detonating it. There's nothing physical there. You can't detonate a plasma torpedo. It's a ball of fucking plasma energy rolling towards your ship. When you fire your phasers at it, like I said, it dissipates it. It like slices through it and takes out a lot of the punch. It spaces it apart. Plasma torpedoes are fired at a ball this size, let's say, and the further they travel, the bigger they get. And then they just eventually dissipate. So there's a chance that some of them will hit your ship. Some of it will hit your ship, but it won't be that impactful bang. So T Hammer, that's always the problem. Consistency with long stories. Sean O'Sullivan, €2. Thank you for the super chat. Haven't had one in a while, but thank you so much. If you guys want a super chat, please feel free. I would really appreciate that. He says, Romulan power systems, rant alarm, rant alert. Yes. Olam, while a plasma torpedo that gets in your hull and then goes off may be better than just a cloud of stuff trying to get in modern shields. It's not a cloud of stuff. It's concentrated plasma. It's highly dangerous. It's like 50 fucking hit points in Starfleet battles. Like, your front shield at full power is 25 boxes. So 25, if a photon torpedo hits you at point blank range, that's 50 fucking damage points. That's your whole shield is down, and you get 25 points of internal damage. They're fucking massive. Like I said, there are different kinds of plasma torpedoes, different strengths. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Bill Barkley, did you ever get the Playmobil Enterprise? And if you did, do you do the size comparison with the other large Enterprise model? Yes, I did. I thought you knew that. I did my whole video of, is it worth it? Is it worth the cost? And I said no, and they saw my video because I got 32,000 views, and they're like, hey, would you like to review it again, but in hand? We'll send you one. So they sent me one for free, and I did 2 reviews of it after the fact of, was it worth the cost? And I still concluded no, it wasn't. It was very cool, though. I do have it in the other room out there right now, and it's the exact same size as the 350 scale Enterprise. I was going to do a video comparing the 350 Enterprise Polar Lights model kit, my Mega Bloks Enterprise, which is up there because they're the exact same size, and the Playmobil one, but I haven't got around to doing that yet. So yes, I have done it. Check them out. Just check in Trekyards Playmobil, and you'll see all the videos I've done on it. Yes, I did get it. It's pretty cool, but I would never have bought it, especially for the price. And now they're selling everywhere at reduced price because they realized it was too fucking expensive. Go figure. That's what I told them before it launched. So, whatever. How did the Breen weapon work? Oh, their energy dampening field. It just disabled all power. It's kind of like an EMP pulse, I guess. Raymond Anders, Lake Vulcan designed warp sled to get the bird of prey. Oh, yes. That could definitely be the case for how they delivered it on scene. Basically like a Jedi starfighter warp ring thing. You like lock onto it and it... plasma is counterable by magnetism. Carlo, I always saw the Romulans as subwarp 3 ships at most in TOS. Probably didn't have a source of dilithium crystals, so they developed a singularity drive. The ship couldn't warp though. Power torpedo. Yeah, there's a whole thing on the Romulan tech. They actually had to buy a lot of their tech because they had splintered off from Vulcan initially, so they didn't have all the resources when they first colonized Romulus. Could be there was no dilithium for the higher warp speeds, sure. But I kind of like that theory a little bit. Again, all this is in my head, all the Starfleet battles, lore, and history. And it's hard to explain it all because I don't remember it all 100%, first of all. But it's all there about the Romulans. They were, in TOS times, they weren't as advanced as the Federation. In some ways they were, in other ways they weren't. They had to buy a lot of their technology. It's also why they made the alliance with the Klingons in 2267 to gain some good space frames and stuff for their ships. So yeah, anyway, we did a whole video on that too. The Romulan Klingon Treaty of 2267 or 2266. Go check out that video because talk about all the things that happened during that. So anyway, all those scenes with Pike seeing his future, if only he saw a little further to him chilling on Talos, might not be upset. It's true. Plasma torpedoes were used on Cardassian orbital weapon platforms in DS9. Didn't V'ger use plasma torpedoes? Yes, V'ger did, but V'ger was also fucking huge and had the power reserves to do so. ThinkPad. Thanks, Dan. I'm getting old and my mind is foggy. Sean says, Pike's future on Talos is bright. Reminds me to Stewart's film pitch on Extras. And then her clothes fell off. She covers up, but it's too late. I've seen everything. Guten Tag from Connecticut, says Mike. Sean says Spock's Vulcan shuttle had a warp sled. Yep. Donnie Pearson, rest in peace, Monty Norman. His James Bond theme introduced me to him. He was 94. Bill Barkley. Thanks, Stuart. I couldn't remember if you got it or not. Are you thinking of getting the Playmobil Knight Rider kit? No, I'm not a huge Playmobil fan. If they come out with the Romulan or the Klingon Bird of Prey like they're planning, I'll get that probably. But honestly, I'm not a big Playmobil fan, so don't feel the need to get them. I have seen the kit, Knight Rider kit, and it's pretty cool. But Sean says, we know in TNG the Romulan ship burns out its engines to go warp 9 for a bit. Gorgonzola, I would love Star Trek to one time explore the Romulan source of their artificial quantum singularities. Maybe they need to mine a neutron star or a black hole. Yeah, good point. Where do they get these things from? Dan Ben, DS9 Season 7, Episode 1, the Romulans deployed 7,000 plasma torpedoes on Derna, the Bajoran moon, but didn't have launch sequences to fire them. Cool. But again, those aren't on ships. Because the Deridexes didn't have plasma weapons. So, Eric Martin, Pike, what a guy. All the way to Admiral and not a hair out of place. His hair was a little bit different. It was out of place, and he had a few wrinkles. They did a pretty good job of aging him. But that monster maroon, man. At first I was like, oh, that's not. Wait a minute. Oh, they did that with the flat. Oh, that shoulder strap. Oh my God. If you zoom in on the shoulder strap, it's fucking leather, which looks awful. They should have just kept it the fabric and kept it more crisp, more straight across instead of fucking way down here. this long fucking thing that does. We did a video. We have a video about it today. We talk about it. So anyhow, I think I'm going to call it there, guys. Thought I would do a nice little afternoon hangout with you guys. It's been an hour now, so if anybody wants that last super chat slot, now is the time. I would love another $10 if possible in super chats to close out. But thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and yeah, let's go for that last super chat slot. Anybody interested? Now's the time. I know Squadra Course is in here. Neither's General Grievous. Neither's Fleet Paw. So I don't know if anybody's going to start sniping for it, but Laughable Larry says, sleep well, Foley. Well, it's only 3:18 here. It's mid-afternoon, so I won't be sleeping well anytime soon. But thank you. Eric Martin, there's a website that has a great kit diecast model, and I think they are just starting to offer them in North America. Fan Home is the site, I think. T Hammer, did you know Gene Roddenberry came up with the idea from sitting in on a spirit medium session with some rich dudes? No. Thanks for the stream. Have a fantastic day or night, everyone. Hail Kuroga. Sean throws in €2 super chats. It helps you go. It does. Thank you so much. Eric Martin throws in a $5 snipe. Boom, baby. Eric Martin has that last super chat slot by the looks of it. Gorgonzola, have a nice cup of coffee then if it's that early. If I have coffee now, it's a little late in the day to have coffee. Just saying. Raymond Anders, I don't know what's going on with that comment, but cool. Horactigino. I love dubs from Horactigino. Double strong, double sweet. Sean O'Sullivan, €1. Thank you so much. That kind of hit the goal I was going for. So that is awesome. Kuroga will crush Turtistan. All hail Kuroga. I'm not going to get in the middle of that one. Just saying. I just seen For All Mankind Season 3. It's quite good. It is good. Can't wait for it to see more, though. It's not over yet. Don't think that it's over, that it's ending there. But I love For All Mankind. It's a fantastic show. So, when's Lower Decks out? Lower Decks will be out in September, most likely. By Grabthor's Hammer. Have a fun day. Damn Europeans and their funny money. Sent you something sweet on Facebook. Yeah, I was kind of reading the comments as they were coming in. So thank you, Trekyards. Great stream, was worth my time. Thanks. Well, thank you, T Hammer. And I'll leave it there, guys. So you guys have yourselves a great day, and I will talk to you guys at some point in the future. I might even do a live later tonight at 10 p.m. We'll see. So until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley. Live long and prosper. I'll see you guys in the future. Bye, everybody.